Hello, this is Bob Anglin, and I'm here with,
Phil
and
Simpkins.
we're talking about Arrow Social and the 7 habits of effective what
People.
people.
Yeah, that'll
The
work.
seven
We
habits of
want
effective
people to
people.
be better.
So we're trying to make people better, and of course, that's what Arrow is all about: is making people able to kind of take control of their own life and do some
And
great things.
get opportunities,
Yeah, and
right?
have
So that,
opportunities. Absolutely.
yeah.
So we're going to talk about these 7 habits. And Phil, why don't we just start out with kind of a summarizing what those habits are?
What and why? So we've had a lot of questions at Arro Social, and folks been wanting to know how we're doing business and what we're about and how we develop software. So it all boils down to who do you trust. So the best trust mechanism I've seen is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then the follow-on book is basically, it's about trust in the business. So we've even seen that the Security Exchange Commission says that you have to trust the company that is issuing crypto and those that are issuing stock. So we want to make sure that you have trust in us, trust in our system, and make sure that we're keeping everything the way it's going. So 7 Habits, as far as I'm aware of, is the best thing to do that. So it's about being proactive is the first of the habits, and then begin with the end in mind. Put first things first. Think win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Synergize, making sure it's all working together, and then sharpen the saw, which is learning over and over.
So let's just talk a little bit right up front about like proactive. What is really being proactive all about?
So it's basically about choosing your response, right? With all that information out there, are you just going to react to it and like do a split second response or activity, or are you going to understand it and see where you want to go and move forward as a team? So we've tried to not be completely reactive. Some things actually do require an immediate response after forethought, but there's a lot of other things out there that take a little bit slower approach to make sure that you do things that will save you money or keep you from losing any money in the future. So that's what we've tried to do, is take that considerate response instead of just reacting to everything out there. So we're not just throwing a product together. We're following some simple steps that we know of, either through the 7 Habits or the systems engineering approach, which I've used for years and been a systems engineer for over 25 years. And we just need to make sure we're defining the process correctly and moving through all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been testing our product, which looks ugly at time. Right? So testing can be a very slow approach, but you need to make sure you understand what people want and what they're looking at. So we're making sure we're in compliance with the law, that we're doing everything that we're supposed to do, and actually make sure that people will be using our product for the long term and not just a short, quick response.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the circle of concern and circle of influence, which is rather interesting because we're always talking about influencers, right? Yeah. And so influence is who you can talk to and who's listening to you at that time. So we all have a lot of concerns, right?
Yeah.
Like weather and whether there's global warming, and those are all concerns. But the reality is, what can you influence and what can you do about it? So it's as simple as just drawing a circle, right, and putting everything in there that you're concerned about, and then drawing the inner circle, which is what you can do, who you can influence, and what you can change within your reactionary region. So we've kind of tried to define what we as a company can do and we as individuals and people can do. So our concern at Arrow is correcting the wrongs of the social networks. So they're taking all our stuff. That is a concern. But then we want to focus on the influence that we can provide. So we want to bring in influencers as needed and basically build our team and expand our network.
Mm-hmm.
So we can start with the network that we have and grow that from there. And so that's what we're focusing on, is building that network and expanding what we're currently doing and making sure that we can influence those things immediately around us and grow that capability. With that growth becomes the things that we've kind of talked about within our company, which is cultivate versus curate.
Yeah.
We are focusing on cultivation.
So that was another interview with Arro Social's founder and CEO, Phil Simpkins. For your opportunity to get your fair share and to find out everything latest as we get closer to the launch of the Arro Social app, hey, make sure you subscribe and follow us on Twitter at Real Arro Social or at Arro Social on Instagram and Facebook. See you there.